The Buni administration has also rehabilitated the Yobe Flour and Feed Mill, the Yobe Sahel Aluminium Company, and the Yobe Woven Sacks Company to boost economic productivity. A new truck transit park is also being built in Potiskum to accelerate the town's booming trucking and transportation business. Governor Mai Mala Buni has also continued to invest heavily in the completion of the Damaturu International Cargo Airport, started by the previous administration of former Governor Ibrahim Gaidam. Expected to be completed and commissioned before the year runs out, the Damaturu International Cargo Airport is projected to amplify Yobe's agricultural and livestock potentials by providing a corridor for heightened commercial transactions with the rest of the country and other parts of the world. The Buni administration is the first in history to cover all the 17 local government areas with the massive construction of housing units to improve shelter and people's access to affordable housing. A total of 2,350 housing units have so far been constructed in 26 different locations across the state. The number of houses built by each local government area range from 50 to 150 units. However, 875 units are being built across Damaturu, the state capital, including along Potiskum Road, Gujiba Road, Gashua Meduguri Bypass Road, on the Yobe State University campus, and within the newly built Yobe International Cargo Airport. In all the new housing estates, roads, water supply, and other services are being provided.
This government made provision for, like the previous governments, provision for houses. We allocated houses to civil servants, and these houses become their own property in line with the government's policy of owner-occupier scheme. And so a lot of civil servants have been able to own their own houses now.
There is no doubt that Governor Buni's achievements, despite security and physical challenges and the COVID-19 pandemic, are a result of clear vision and a commitment to take Yobe to the next level. With a little under 2 more years to go before the end of his first term in office, the people of Yobe State can remain confident that their choice of Governor Mai Mala Buni to lead them is a well-placed one.
The relationship between us, members of Yobe South Assembly, and His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, is very, very cordial.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose, with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
NTA Tuesday Live, analytical, in-depth, educative and interactive on national issues accommodating all sides of opinions.
We as a people have understood that we have to fight corruption before it fights us back.
Poverty has a financial index, so it should be fought also with a financial weapon. Give it to the social investments program. It has been a very courageous battle.
Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Join us.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
NTA Parliament is a dedicated 24-hour channel that broadcasts activities of the Nigerian Senate, Federal House of Representatives, and all the 36 state houses of assembly. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Petroleum Industry Act. Time to count the gains. President Buhari sets targets for chief executives.
Mr. President charged us to ensure that we use our best experience to ensure that the industry is on track.
At last, fuel subsidy off the financial records of the Treasury from first quarter of 2022.
Those engagements still ongoing, and the provisions of the law is such that by end of February that we should be out of the subsidy regime.
Lagos white paper on NSAS lie separates the facts from the fiction.
What is currently circulating in public space is simply a rehash of the unverified fake news.
Plus, 2 days of great plans for the continent ends. Aisha Buhari treats African first ladies to the best of Nigeria's culture. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Ian Ray John. Sadia Umar Digi joins me from Sokoto. Thank you for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed satisfaction with the level of implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act so far and urged the newly inaugurated regulatory agencies to ensure that Nigeria and Nigerians drive maximum benefits from the critical economic sector. This was when he granted orders to the chief executives of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, as well as his upstream counterpart, Gbenga Komolafe. State House correspondent Adam Musambo brings us details.
The chief executives of the petroleum regulatory agencies were led to the State House by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva. It was their very first meeting with the president and therefore used the opportunity to bring him up to speed on their programs of action aimed at transforming as well as adding value to the oil and gas sector of the Nigerian economy.
We intend to operate in a manner that we facilitate and enable investment in the industry in a manner that we mitigate the effect of that energy transition. And part of the effect that is already being noticeable is funding challenges. We intend equally to ensure full digitization of the upstream activities to optimize value for the nation in the industry.
We have abundance of gas in this country, but it has not been harnessed. So we need to encourage investment in the area. Now, a lot of major oil companies like the IOCs want to invest, but the pricing framework is an issue for them. So we are working to ensure that we put the pricing framework that is attractive enough for the investors, at the same time simple enough for the consumers. Just to reiterate that, yep, we are going to continue the bridging and the payment will be made to transporters. There's no doubt about that.
The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva, told journalists that President Buhari is delighted that a lot is happening in the petroleum sector, justifying the coming into effect of the Petroleum Industry Act.
And Mr. President charged us to ensure that we use our best experience to ensure that the industry is on track and do what is best in the interests of Nigeria at all times.
President Buhari, the minister, also said is concerned about the continuous rise in the price of cooking gas in the market.
I can assure you that we are doing everything to see how we can bring down the price of gas, especially as we approach the Yuletide.
Discussions also centered on the recent oil spillage in Nembe, Bayelsa State.
Mr. President is very personally interested in that, and he has actually asked us to go and visit the site to assess the situation and report back. Definitely, we are quite concerned with what is happening in Nembe, and we'll be going there tomorrow.
The regulatory agencies in the petroleum industry were inaugurated 1 month ago in line with the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government says it's working on a conditional cash transfer for the citizenry to cushion the effect of subsidy removal, which may come into effect in the first quarter of 2022. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed said this at the unveiling of Nigeria Development Update by the World Bank Group in Abuja. Musa Abubakar has details.
This is the second time that the World Bank is launching Development Update on Nigeria this year. The twice-a-year Development Assessment Report indicates that subsidy, high inflation and fiscal risk, among other factors, are major impediments on growth, despite projections of 2.7 growth in 2021 and 2.8 in 2022.
For the federal government, what we're projecting is that next year, in comparison to 2021, the federal government could be receiving 13% lower revenues in nominal terms.
To support Nigeria in making progress on this core task of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty.
The report highlights the urgency of reducing inflation, subsidy removal, flexible foreign exchange management, and protecting the poor as critical measures needed to speed up recovery.
So this report for us is another wake-up call. It's like shaking everybody out of maybe the stupor that we're in to galvanize the whole of the community, so that is government, including citizens, to take that bold, decisive action, actions that need to be taken so that we can make progress.
This need to be in place because we can job. It's not a failure of communication. It is just social reality that you never plan fully for it. And of course, those engagements still ongoing, and the provisions of the law is such that by end of February, that we should be out of the subsidy regime. That is what the Honorable Minister is emphatic.
As state governments, we are committed to supporting the federal government on this compact. We will do our bit to engage with all stakeholders and put the facts on the table so that everyone understands the danger the country is in if this subsidy continues.
Policymakers are expected to take advantage of the recommendations. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the immediate suspension of the inauguration of the newly constituted board of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, earlier scheduled for Wednesday, 24th November 2021. A statement signed by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, indicates that the suspension is still further notice and a new date for the inauguration of the NNPC board be announced in due course. The SGF notes that inconveniences caused to members of the board by this suspension are regretted. Now, taking a look at the monetary policy rates, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has again retained monetary policy rates and all parameters. The governor of the Apex Bank, Godwin Emefiele, said members agreed to hold position and allow recovery measures linger for a while. Leah Katungbaba today completes the story.
In the build-up to the last Monetary Policy Committee meeting for the year, experts had opined rates would remain unchanged, and true to that, the committee did, after studying the present fundamentals shaping the macro and microeconomy. Governor Emefiele took time to explain happenings in the monetary space, focusing on the funds injected into the economy by the central bank.
Members expressed confidence in the ongoing policies of both the monetary and fiscal authorities, which in their view was the hallmark of the current recovery and restoration of macroeconomic stability in Nigeria. They therefore called on both the authorities to look beyond the current position and plan towards attracting sustainable investment flows into Nigeria.
So far, 560,000 downloads of the eNaira app have been recorded, with modalities set for the takeoff of the Infrastructure Corporation Infracorp, while the policy on 100 for 100 seeks to support President Muhammadu Buhari's quest to create millions of jobs in one decade.
We want to work hard to reduce the size of foreign exchange that people come to ask for to import goods that can be produced within Nigeria. And we are really very determined to achieve this, and we are calling on the support of everybody to achieve this objective.
He affirmed the bank's position in securing deposit money banks and advised the public to seek redress on frivolous bank charges, pointing out that the Apex regulator will not tolerate acts contrary to its position. In Abuja, Leah Katungbaba today, NTA News.
And still on the economy, the Buhari Media Organization says President Muhammadu Buhari has again shown that he is a compassionate leader with his approval of a fourth multi-billion naira bailout for states in 6 years. A statement by its chairman, Niyi Akinshiju, notes that the decision to disburse 656 billion naira to be shared among the 36 states as a budget support facility was totally unexpected. The group says it's pleasantly surprised when Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed first dropped a hint in Lagos about the president's approval of yet another bailout for the states at a time they were to begin repaying 3 previous bailout facilities extended to them. While urging the states to be prudent in the utilization of the fund, the group advised the anti-graft agencies to live up to their responsibility of monitoring the disbursement of funds to each of the 36 states. And the National Assembly Senate has reaffirmed its commitment to pass the 2022 budget on the 14th of December before embarking on Christmas and New Year holidays. The National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the Senate has been stepping down some items in order to give adequate attention to the budget process.
Plenary commenced with President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, reminding senators of the need to keep to the timetable for the consideration of the 2022 appropriation bill. Wednesday, 24th of November 2021 is the deadline for the budget defense reports by subcommittees before Appropriations Committee.
Tomorrow, no matter what, we have to conclude with the budget defense by the subcommittees before the Committee on Appropriations. In fact, it is very, very essential that we keep to our timetable. Otherwise, we may run into a very serious problem with our time for the budget to be considered and passed by the 14th of December.
The Federal College of Agriculture Obiaja Edo State Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Clifford Odia, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill, sponsored by Senator Yusuf, passed second reading.
The Federal College of Agriculture Obiaja, when established, will provide for the comprehensive development of agricultural education, knowledge, skill, and extension services.
To review and make more flexible the financial provisions under the Act.
It will put us in line with all the various amendments that has been done
in all of these other countries that have been mentioned.
Senator Rochas Okorocha drew the attention of the Senate to what he described as high level of insecurity in Imo State, especially kidnapping and arson.
Killing of innocent souls and burning of people's houses and homes.
And I agree that we need to diversify our means of getting the solution to the numerous myriads of security challenges across the country.
5 bills were passed for first reading. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTN News.
In other news, the President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission and First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, has reaffirmed the determination of the mission's desire towards promoting peace and conflict resolution on the continent. The First Lady stated this during a fundraising dinner organized to mobilize resources for the construction of the permanent secretariat of the Peace Mission. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports.
Few hours after laying the foundation for the construction of the headquarters of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, this dinner is being held to mobilize resources for the structure. President of the mission and Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari underscored the contribution of the past and the current First Ladies from across the African continent, with particular acknowledgement to the former First Lady of Nigeria, Mariam Abacha, who was the founder of the mission in 1997 and the pioneer president, and whose contribution to peace building across the continent is enormous. She noted that the organization has been into existence since 1997 without a functional permanent office, hence the need for embarking on this project for the smooth operation of the peace mission.
The Peace Mission has been in existence for 26 years now, but lacks a befitting functional structure as its secretariat. As we witness the foundation laying ceremony, it becomes necessary to organize this event. On this note, while we appreciate your presence tonight, we also count on your support in actualizing the vision of having a befitting and permanent secretariat for the Peace Mission.
It is in Nigeria, but I think this is an African thing. And I'm here standing on this platform asking you all to please give generously.
The need to bring the enormous influence of the First Ladies of the region to deal with the issues of peace is a unique and welcoming idea.
For some time now, African First Ladies have played important roles in the promotion of the culture of peace through the African First Ladies Peace Mission.
And certainly you all have a great role to play. And we are quite honored that you are here today to support her. And we are all so proud to be associated with it. And we believe that under her leadership, the Peace Mission will achieve greater heights.
I have the mandate of the members of the Federal Executive Council to notify their commitment to support this noble cause.
All supports and donations are to be made to the designated account of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. From the State House, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talin, has congratulated Hajia Aisha Buhari over her election as the President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. The minister, in a statement, described the unanimous election of the Nigerian First Lady as an indication of her great leadership skills, which have been recognized by the First Ladies drawn from all over Africa. She urged the First Lady to use the uncommon development to promote peace within the African continent. Time for a quick break. Please stay.
The federal government of Nigeria, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency and partners, has established COVID-19 mass vaccination sites at various strategic points in all the area councils of the Federal Capital Territory. In addition to the health facilities, you can now receive COVID-19 vaccine at the Federal Secretariat parking lot behind the Eagle Square, Banex Plaza, local and international airports, Jabi Recreation Park, motor parks and Jabi Lake Mall, Old Parade Ground, Wuse Kubwa, Old Garki, Utako Market, Market, the National Mosque, H Medics, Area 11, Idu Kubwa train stations, Lugbe Junction, After Car Wash, AYA Junction, and all the government-approved COVID-19 private testing laboratories in the FCT. 6 million Nigerians have safely received the COVID-19 vaccines. For sure, 6 million Nigerians cannot be wrong. All COVID-19 vaccines are free, safe, and effective. Get vaccinated. For more information, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng/FCT focus site or call 0700 2200 122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Everybody knows the secret to good cooking is that special ingredient. The mothers know it, but does this new generation know it? Let's find out. Mothers, daughters, are you ready? Yeah! Let the cooking begin.
Erisco tomato paste.
Now we get home, now we get love,
now we get children.
We spice the world
with a meal so great and so healthy.
You know we've got your back. Oh, with Erisco, Rigico, Nagico. Ladies and gentlemen, food is ready.
Food of love. Tomato paste.
Good food for the body. Yum yum for the body.
Erisco Rigico and Nagico tomato paste is made by Erisco Foods Limited, feeding Africans with healthy foods.
Enjoy the reward that sharing brings with the Airtel Family Plan. Get bonus talk time, SMS, and data for each family member you share with. Dial *141# now.
Now everybody knows that.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Following the approval by the Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, opens a platform for all tertiary institutions to upload their undisclosed and illegal institutional admissions, CUIIA, done between 2017 and 2020. Details of the procedure for the possible waiver are contained in most of the national dailies on Wednesday, 24th November 2021, and on major online publications. Tertiary educational institutions are advised to adhere to the published guidelines. Henceforth, no waiver to any admission done outside the Central Admissions Processing System, CAPS, will be accommodated. Fabian Benjamin, PhD, Head Public Affairs and Protocol, Announcer. The Abdusalami A. Abubakar Institute for Peace and Sustainable Development Studies cordially invites the public to the first script in honor of General Abdusalami A. Abubakar, GCFR CSG. Theme: General Abdusalami A. Abubakar, a mediator and bridge builder. Date: 25th to 27th November 2021. Venue: Margaret Ekpo Hall, Houghton Suites, number 1, Uke Street, Garki, Abuja. Issues to be discussed include triggers of a conflict in Africa, mediation for peace and security in Nigeria and beyond. Distinguished personalities include His Excellency Jean-Claude Kassi Brau, His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, Chairman of African Union, His Excellency General Ibrahim B. Babangida, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, and His Excellency Thabo Mbeki are to speak on managing conflict in Africa. His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, will also present a speech. Dr. Diamond Priye Ogidi, Director, Announcer.
Thank you for staying. For a nation to cope with developments of contemporary times, there is the need to draw strength from cultural wealth that will inspire her to move with the change. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo stated this as he unveiled the proposed International Center for Yoruba Arts and Culture project at the University of Ibadan. Larry Gwelei has details.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, alongside custodians of Yoruba culture, leaders, traditional rulers, and political office holders in the Southwest, has launched and presented to the world the International Center for Yoruba Arts and Culture to teach and showcase the ethos of the Yoruba people. The Vice President captured the vision of the project in a speech, describing it as a place that should be a repository of Yoruba culture, faith, and lifestyle as it reveals their place and role in the timeline from the past to the present.
You have initiated a place that will give context and depth to our understanding of our past, our place and role in the present, and hopefully our preparation for the future. A place that will help tell a fuller, deeper, and richer story of a proud, creative, and colorful people.
The convener and distinguished persons corroborated the Vice President in their goodwill messages.
And where you can have an archive and library. So once we have that, we believe that our traditions, our language, our art and culture, and our history will be permanently preserved.
Tentatively, the site will be located inside the University of Ibadan. At least that's the plan for now. The organizer says this will aid learning, teaching, and deep understanding of Yoruba culture. In Ibadan, Larry Belay, NT News.
And away from Ibadan now, as the federal government awaits the Lagos State government white paper on the NSAS Judicial Panel of Inquiry report, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says it is disheartening that the report as submitted contains errors, discrepancies, and claimed facts that are unsubstantiated. Anthony Forson reports.
What is currently circulating in public space is simply a rehash of the unverified fake news.
Flanked by the Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, and Special Assistant to the President on Media, Office of the Minister of Information and Culture, Shehu Ademi, Lai Mohammed dismissed contents of the report, saying the panel's report falls short of its mandate to investigate the Lekki Tollgate allegations, and the same allegations are what is contained in the report, which by all standards wasted taxpayers' money.
That report is nothing but the triumph of fake news and intimidation of a silent majority by a vociferous lynch mob.
In the face of these, some commentators have hailed the report, but some courageous ones, he said, have described it as disgraceful.
All these and many more have raised right questions on that report. We salute their courage and refusal to be cowed by the rapidly lynch mob that has been screaming blue murder since the report was released.
Pointing out key issues that clearly expose discrepancies, errors, and omissions. Lai Mohammed said the report omitted the testimony of a ballistic expert who testified before it and gave a professional explanation to what caliber of arms was used, which made it obvious that firearms used were locally fabricated weapons. The panel's report, Lai Mohammed again pointed out, also contradicted itself in the testimony of forensic pathologist Professor John Obafunwa on the number of deaths and those who sustained injuries. Most intriguing, the minister fingered, was the evidence of a man who counted 11 dead bodies in a black military van having been left for dead, emerged in a video to testify. That testimony became crucial to the panel. Another intriguing aspect of the report was that a man who reported seeing the dead body of his brother himself ended up being on the list of the panel's deceased persons. Inconsistencies in the way the police were said to have cleared the Lekki Tollgate equally cast some doubt on the report, Lai Mohammed maintained. Now, Lai Mohammed asks, how can the panel convince anyone that names of deceased persons in the report are not fictitious? Since the panel remains indifferent with the case of police personnel brutally murdered or massive destructions of police stations and vehicles during the NSAS protests, it is therefore clear that the panel report in circulation cannot be relied upon. CNN on its part, Lai Mohammed said, was quick to celebrate the report.
CNN moved in its report on the findings of the panel, which fell below the main standards of journalism. Secondly, CNN rushed to the air to celebrate an unsigned and unverified report as it's riddled with inconsistencies, errors, discrepancies, and innuendos. That is the double faux pas by a news organization that is eager and willing to compromise standards just to claim vindication.
Sadly, some Nigerian media followed suit, a show that explicitly points at a deliberate attempt to vilify the government at all costs. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The federal government of Nigeria is following up the processes for the immediate implementation of reform strategy for national security architecture with a view to provide enhanced institutions for effective service delivery. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, SAN, made this known while receiving members of the Presidential Implementation and Advisory Committee for the implementation of the recommendations of the Reform Committee on Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces of Nigeria. In a statement, Malami emphasized the need for robust legal and legislative framework, effective inter-ministerial support, and up-to-date training, as well as enhanced capacity-building approaches. Malami assured the committee of the federal government's determination to have the Nigeria's military and security institutions carry out their duties in the ever-changing and complex society and in compliance with international best practices. Earlier, the chairman of the committee, Major General Alwali Jauji Kazir, retired, noted that the heinous activities of non-state actors and other criminals make the review of the defense and security architecture imperative. And the Nigerian Television Authority has confirmed the arrest of former Minister of Aviation, Chief Femi Fani-Kayode, by the operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The spokesman of the commission, Wilson Wujaren, confirmed that Fani-Kayode was arrested by operatives of the Lagos office of the commission. Details will come in our subsequent bulletins. Now, Taraba State Governor Darius Dixon Ishaku has presented 2022 Taraba State Appropriation Bill of more than 146 billion naira to the State House of Assembly. Correspondent Joseph Zanagambo reports that the 2022 budget, tagged Budget of Hope and Economic Consolidation, seeks to deepen dividends of democracy in the state.
Laying the 2022 appropriation bill at the floor of the State House of Assembly with a budget size of 146,781,653,671 naira 82 kobo. This represents an increase of 5,156,217,710 naira 2 kobo, or 3.64% increase than the 2021 approved budget. A breakdown of the 2022 budget estimate shows that the sum of 78,072,587,679 naira 90 kobo is allocated to recurrent expenditure, representing 53.19%, while a total of 68,709,065,991 naira 92 kobo, representing 46.81%, is earmarked for capital expenditure.
Economy, 37,172,942,602 naira 90 kobo, representing 25.33%. Law and justice, 2,662,563,199 naira 60 kobo, representing 1.81%.
This Honorable House is very mindful of the imperative and sensitive nature of the timely processing and passing into law of this all-important bill.
The 2022 budget estimate of Taraba State, when passed into law, is expected to stimulate economic growth and fast-track completion of all ongoing projects in Jalingo. Joseph Zanagambo, NTA News.
Moving away from Taraba State now, it was celebration all the way for staff, management and lovers of Coca-Cola, a beverage that has remained relevant for 7 decades for providing unequaled refreshment. Annie Daniels reports that Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, re-emphasized his loyalty to the brand in Lagos.
To continue evolve.
Coca-Cola management of the company says was brought into Nigeria by A.G. Leventis in 1951 and first produced in Nigeria in 1953. 70 years down the line, the beverage has continued to provide unequaled refreshments and commitment.
And I'm pleased to announce that we'll be investing another $1 billion in the next 5 years. As we are investing in plants and equipment, we are equally investing in talent.
Special guest at the event and Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, relived his Coca-Cola experience.
From 1975 to 2017, I drank at least 2 bottles of Coke a day. It means I must have had 29,200 bottles of Coke in my lifetime so far. In these 70 years, you have demonstrated your commitment to the Nigerian people. And as we've heard also, with repeated investments in the building of production facilities across the country.
With a keen interest in sustainability and leading with purpose, the company rewarded 70 of its trade partners, including traditional heads of its host communities.
It's not just that we're providing our loved brands here in Nigeria, but for the past 70 years, we've also been supporting our communities and creating a better shared future for all.
And in the next 10 years and more 70 years to come, our programs are targeted for making sure that the Nigerian woman is deeply empowered.
Coca-Cola Nigeria Limited is a total beverage company with an array of products. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Another brand, Airtel Nigeria, has given Block A, the medical ward in Lagos University Teaching Hospital, a facelift as part of its corporate social responsibility. Hingino John Adams reports.
Airtel Nigeria considers the health sector crucial, especially in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. That is why it committed more than 200 million naira to the rehabilitation of Lute's medical ward. Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ehanire, who unveiled the facility, took a tour of wards and other sections in company of management of Airtel Nigeria and Lute.
We have a very modern ward that is acceptable by all standards, acceptable by standards that are even used in Europe. So I think it will increase the confidence of citizens.
It's a great shot in the arm for us. It significantly improves the quality of care we can give to patients.
Airtel Nigeria says it will continue to execute more life-touching projects as part of its social corporate responsibilities.
The purpose is basically to serve the underprivileged people from the lower rung of the society, where we can improve the healthcare systems here.
The 111 Block A bed capacity, which is expected to be operational immediately, will serve the health needs of Nigerians, and Airtel CEO says that is the company's desire. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
Let's take a trip to Sokoto now, where Sadia will lead us. Sadia, it's over to you.
Thank you, Enyere. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal has signed the Child Protection and Violence Against Person Prohibition laws. The latter Abdullahi reports that the event held at the Government House, Sokoto, was attended by many stakeholders. The report.
The signing of the legal document by the Sokoto State Governor coincides with the 2021 World Children's Day. The bill was earlier passed by the Sokoto State Legislature. After due process, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal said the Child Right Act was enacted in 2003 by the federal government, but it was difficult for states to domesticate due to cultural and lifestyle differences. Tambuwal assured of more interventions, especially survivors' shelter and other identified needs in the progress report of the UN-EU Spotlight Initiative project.
I've taken note of areas whereby government intervention
is more urgently required, in particular on the issue of bureaucratic bottlenecks or process hampering the takeoff of the shelter.
Sultan of Sokoto, represented by the Wazir in Sokoto, Professor Sambo Ali Junaid, said a lot of inputs were made in consideration of the people's culture, lifestyles, and religious values. The UN resident coordinator in Nigeria, Mr. Edward Carlon, said the UN-EU Spotlight Initiative project is geared toward promoting the rights of individuals, harmonious living of the people devoid of violence and abuse, while empowering women and girls with the required livelihood skills. In Sokoto, Dalat Abdullahi, NTA News.
Association of Cardiovascular Thoracic Surgeons of Nigeria to provide cardiovascular thoracic services to Nigerians at affordable rates in spite of its complexity. This is coming as members of the association operated on 2 children with cardiovascular diseases in Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto. Shehu Muhammad Detti reports.
In recent times, Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital Sokoto has become one of the tertiary health institutions where open heart surgery is conducted. This time, members of the Association of Cardiovascular Thoracic Surgeons of Nigeria from Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital, Ile-Ife, and Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital converge on Sokoto. 2 children with cardiovascular diseases were operated on successfully.
What we're trying to do by ensuring that the surgeries are done by the local teams is to get the surgeries at the cheapest possible rate.
The current mission of this body is to ensure that cardiovascular services that are not readily available in Nigeria are made available using the local personnel.
Professor John Okeniyi of Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital, Ile-Ife, cautioned Nigerians to avoid lifestyles capable of exposing them to cardiovascular diseases. One of the parents whose child was operated on was full of praises to the surgeons for a job well done. Experts are advocating for the establishment of a center in northern Nigeria where cardiovascular thoracic services could be accessed without traveling long distances. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
We'll now pause for a break. NTA Network News will continue shortly. Do stay.
Sure, Danny. This one where you get Christmas mood, so see you with this and this and this every day now. Christmas with Glow Berekete plus. Now I feel listening to all my favorite jams all night long.
Glow Breakator Plus is here, and every day is now Christmas. Existing Glow customers will get 400% bonus on every recharge and 100 MB data bonus on first recharge of the month. New Glow customers will get 1,000 Naira welcome bonus. To activate, buy a new Glow SIM today or dial *777# for existing Glow customers.
Every day now Christmas with the Glow Berekete Plus.
The town hall meeting on the Petroleum Industry Act, earlier scheduled for Thursday, 25th November 2021, has now been postponed. A new date will be announced later. All inconveniences are highly regretted. Announcer Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture.
The Vice-Chancellor Michael Okpara, University of Agriculture, Umudike, Professor Madu BBC Ofoiwe, on behalf of Council and Senate, has the pleasure to invite the general public to the 10th convocation ceremony of the university. Date Saturday, November 27th, 2021, time 10 a.m. Venue, University Convocation Pavilion. The event will feature a award of first degrees, higher degrees, and conferments of honorary degrees on 4 distinguished Nigerians as follows: Dr. Cosmas Maduka, President Koscharis Group; Oba Akim Olushayo, King Ogubangbe Owaluku of Iloku Ijesha; Mr. Chika Ikenga, Group Managing Director, Unisol Group; Alhaji Usman Yaya, Councillor, MD CEO UIK Nigeria Limited. The 10th convocation lecture will be delivered by Professor Afiz Abubakar, Professor of Nutritional Biochemistry. Date November 26, 2021, time 2 p.m. Venue, Senator Ayim Pius Ayim Auditorium. All COVID-19 protocols will be observed. Signed, Professor Udo Herbert, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic and Chairman University Ceremonials Committee.
There is a saying that Christmas is what you make of it. At Bedmates Furniture, we enjoy making your Christmas comfortable and exciting with the furniture we provide you. That's why from 1st November to 18 December 2021, Bedmates offers you and your loved ones amazing luxury furniture your home loves and truly needs at up to 70% discount. You also stand a chance to win fridges, TVs, washing machines, and many more as we keep making your living better through the furniture you love.
Hey there, what's on your bucket list? Would you like to travel the world, live your best life? What if I told you you could blow right this minute and do everything on that list? Airtel is saying thank you to all loyal customers. You stand a chance to win up to 100 million naira with guaranteed cash tokens in the Airtel Recharge and Blow promo. How awesome is that? All you have to do is recharge to win. For more information, dial *444*4# to enter for the draw. Everyone's a winner, so hurry now. The more you recharge, the more you win.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Madam, how much lasts for this bag of rice?
Customer, I don't give you better price now.
Madam, do well, I go come out.
Oh yeah, come pay. How you want to take pay now? You want to take pay for bag of rice? You be Mongo Park? See, make I tell you, times don't change.
My country people, before, our people they use different things as money, trade by barter, cowries. Today, we know money as Naira note. But because say the only thing when they constant na change, Central Bank of Nigeria don't introduce e-Naira. E-Naira, now the same thing as Naira. 1 e-Naira equal to 1 Naira. E-Naira go dey inside your phone. E-Naira no dey tear, e no dey heavy. E dey easy to transfer and you fit use them buy and sell just like Naira note. To begin use e-Naira, ask your bank. This message now from the Bankers Committee.
Glad to have you back. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says it will no longer allow any illegal admission granted to anyone, irrespective of the cost. JAMB's registrar, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, said this at a consultative meeting with stakeholders in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports.
The issue of illegal admission offered to candidates without regard to JAMB's Central Admission Processing System (CAPS) by some tertiary institutions is becoming a recurring decimal. And at present, there are more than 1 million unqualified candidates admitted illegally in tertiary institutions across the country. While working on rescuing candidates with the minimum qualification for admission, the board explained that it has also introduced 2 UTME subjects, physical and health education and computer studies, into the examination curriculum, as well as stop the extortion of candidates, particularly during registration.
We are now putting in place a mechanism for ensuring that we run cashless CBT centers.
On the issue of what many call regularization,
we are going to hold not only the institutions responsible, we are also going to hold the recipient of such undue favor responsible for their acts.
The stakeholders' consultative meeting was attended by professionals from different fields of endeavor. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari joins family, friends and associates of former Nigeria's High Commissioner, United Kingdom, Dr. Dalhatu Seriki Tafida, to celebrate his 81st birthday. The president warmly felicitates with the dedicated public servant who had variously worked for a greater nation, serving as medical doctor, consultant physician and permanent secretary, chief consultant physician to a president, commissioner of education and minister of health. President Buhari notes the wisdom and experience that the former High Commissioner had always brought to every national assignment, setting standards, motivating others to achieve goals, and uplifting many in his community and across the nation. President Buhari praised that the Almighty God will grant him good health, strength, and longer life. Another break. Please stay.
Outcome of Durban-Paris Trade and Investment Fora is our focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Join us at 10:30 p.m. Tuesday Live, incisive and educative.
When you hear the sound of credit alert, we can easy transfer, say we want to serve you better. No be play, we go turn your business around. We are Fidelity Bank. We are Fidelity Bank. Sure you be the person we want relax. Save your money, your girl, we dey serve, we no dey tire. Say now your future be our concern. At Fidelity Bank. We are Fidelity Bank. Fidelity there for you. We go there for you. We are here for you. For you. We are the bank for you. We are the bank for you. It's you, do it all for you. For me, for you. We go stand by you. We go stand by you. Put your trust in us. For you. We are the bank for you. We are the bank. Fidelity.
We keep our word.
The town hall meeting on the Petroleum Industry Act, earlier scheduled for Thursday, 25th November 2021, has now been postponed. A new date will be announced later. All inconveniences are highly regretted. Announcer Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture.
How to make a perfect bowl of love? A perfect blend of taste that brings every ingredient to life. The fusion of different spices. The unique aroma that rejuvenates your senses. The heartwarming deliciousness. And the satisfaction that comes from every bite, which makes you say, I love my Indomie.
Me and you, let's get to Ghana. Right, jump.
This is Ghana. You've come here to seek for greener pastures. Make it your worthwhile.
Any guinea fowl you see, say Guinea. Guinea fowl has nothing to do with Guinea. It's just the name of the fowl.
So Ghana jollof, what is it? Is it Nigerian beans?
What?
Have we made before?
No.
Jasper, help me!
Guess what?
What?
I scored a hat trick today.
Cool!
Wow!
And how did you celebrate?
Just do your hands like this.
And hold your nose like this?
Body odor is caused by germs. That's why you need the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which protects against 99.9% odor-causing germs with an extra burst of menthol freshness. Dettol, be 100% sure.
There's a saying that Christmas is what you make of it. At Bedmates Furniture, we enjoy making your Christmas comfortable and exciting with the furniture we provide you. That's why from 1st November to 18 December 2021, Bedmates offers you and your loved ones amazing luxury furniture your home loves and truly needs at up to 70% discount. You also stand a chance to win fridges, TVs, washing machines, and many more as we keep making your living better through the furniture you love.
acquisition of the broadcast rights of the 23rd African Cup of Nations by the London-based sports marketing firm Afro Sports, the company has entered into a memorandum of understanding with the NTA to broadcast the entire 52 matches of the event to Nigerians. Here's a report on the partnership.
Since its inception, the Nigerian Television Authority has never shied away from providing coverages for various events, be it in politics, the economy, agriculture, sports, and so on. It is an acknowledgement of this that Afro Sports, the broadcast rights owners to the 2021 African Finals, decided to collaborate with NTA in the live transmission of the matches to Nigerians.
Together with the Nigerian Television Authority, are proud to be able to bring to fans across the country the 33rd edition of the African Nations Cup, set to take place in Cameroon from the 9th of January to the 6th of February.
NTA Director General and veteran sports commentator Yakubu Ibn Mohammed says NTA is not a stranger to such big events like the African Cup of Nations.
We are making very serious efforts, to reposition NTA as a force to reckon with in the field of sports in Nigeria. And you'll agree with me that any AFCON finals that does not have Nigeria, is not complete. And since Nigeria is going to be in Cameroon, NTA has the responsibility to bring the matches of AFCON 21 to the sitting rooms and viewing centers of every sports-loving Nigeria.
To 1980 AFCON winner and Speaker of the Sports Parliament, Segun Odegbami, this is a welcome development.
NTA, the reliable sports broadcasting organization, is here to revive the tradition of sportscasting, particularly of football in the country. Watch out for its new show that will support the cause of the greatest brand and sports ambassadors of Nigeria, the Super Eagles.
The 23rd edition of the African most prestigious football tournament will kickstart from the 9th of January to the 6th of February 2022 in Cameroon, with 24 African teams participating. Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the Kano family of Arozindogu, Imo State, on the passing of the traditional ruler, Maxwell Omerie Kanu. The president, in a statement, affirms that the traditional ruler was a philanthropist and the hospitality industry who empowered many Nigerians from different walks of life, demonstrating that the ultimate purpose of wealth is to lift the downtrodden, the weak and less privileged in the society. He prayed God to grant the soul of the late traditional ruler eternal rest and comfort his family, friends, associates, and the people of Arondizogu. And that concludes NTA Network News tonight. Many thanks for watching. Please remember that rape is a crime. Let's do our part to put an end to it. I'm Ian John. Good night.
Information is power. Everyone wants power.
So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
NTA Tuesday Live, analytical, in-depth, educative and interactive on national issues accommodating all sides of opinions.
We as a people have understood that we have to fight corruption before it fights us back.
Poverty has a financial index, so it should be fought also with a financial weapon. Give it to the social investments program. It has been a very courageous battle.
Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Join us.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
This is the network service of the NTA.
The Digital Switchover project, which is commonly referred to as DSO, which entails television channels switching from analog to digital broadcasting. It's one of the biggest projects embarked upon by this administration. Branded as Free TV, offers its viewers about 60 digital channels, including sports, music, movies, and news. The federal government has licensed about 23 set-top box manufacturers. 7 of them have self-production, employing several thousands of people. We've made it now compulsory for all stations in Nigeria to only broadcast productions made in Nigeria for products which are produced in Nigeria.
There's a wind of change blowing over Nigeria, and it's coming from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. If you want to find out how TED Fund is bringing the Nigerian government, industry, and the academia together to drive a new knowledge economy, tune in to this station every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for TED Fund, the paradigm shift. It's informative, it's innovative, and it's exciting. TED Fund, the paradigm shift, proudly produced by 84 TV Radio.
Dialogue, empathy, love, and unity. These are vital components of nation building.
For all to be well, we appeal that we should refrain from volatile, provocative, inciting messages and language.
Let's build and not destroy.
Life can be very eventful. We curiously expect things to happen, even when we don't know what. Our human nature makes us like and repost lots of information. Some are unverified, inciting anger and hate. Sometimes innocently, other times the urge to break it first. This, in most cases, has caused destruction in many nations.
The League of Women Voters of Nigeria, Ntalive, is set to host women and men from across the globe in Abuja on the 25th of November 2021, celebrating its 25th anniversary with the theme Nigerian Women Overcoming Challenges in Politics and Leadership. Notable speakers are NAOB Governance Team Leader and Country Director, ActionAid Nigeria, Patrick Otieno Lumumba, former Director of the Kenyan Anti-Corruption Commission and activist and fiery speaker, Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary of the United Nations. Ntalive, uplifting and empowering women, Ntalive, Together We Can. Announcers, Ambassador Dr. Kema Chikwe, Chairman, National Organizing Committee, Regina Omo Agege, Secretary, NOC, and Right Honorable Dame Esther Odwehi, the founder.
Fuel, either as premium motor spirit, liquefied petroleum gas, kerosene or diesel, are necessary resources for domestic and industrial operation and has been a blessing to Nigeria over the years. As much as the refined forms of these derivatives of crude oil have helped in the development of the country, bringing along with them economic gains, their highly flammable nature make them such to be handled with care. Nigeria as a country has experienced the monstrous nature of these petroleum products, with records of loss of lives and property as a result of improper handling and vandalism, especially with liquefied petroleum products. This is our focus on this edition of Dateline 360. I am Omotola Omojala. Stay with us. About 20 cases of gas explosions were reported between 2019 and 2021 in Lagos State. Survey collected and documented by the Lagos State Fire Service reveals that the cases are spread across the densely populated commercial city. Victoria Olabodi reports that the data also indicates high rate of casualties and huge economic loss to Lagos State and the nation at large.
Statistics available shows that gas explosions in Lagos State have become an every-year occurrence due to some avoidable factors, which include negligence and carelessness. For instance, in year 2019, a total of 5 gas explosions occurred in different parts of Lagos, with several lives lost and properties worth millions of naira destroyed. Also in 2020, similar gas explosions put at 7 paralyzed socioeconomic activities in areas like Mushin local government area and Ayobo Ikpaja LCDA. This year is not an exception to what has become a recurring decima in Lagos State, even though the government is working to avert incidents. Some end users of gas attribute incessant explosions to negligence and adulteration of products.
Scrupulous elements use substandard tankers to load.
at unofficial time. And that's why you always witness tanker crashes, explosions at some odd hours. Why it is difficult to implement much more? We don't have control over allocation of land.
The major causes of gas explosion these days is as a result of carelessness, negligence on the part of operator and the owner of gas plants, where they fail to adhere strictly to the laid down rules and regulations.
Some end users of gas attribute incessant explosions to negligence and adulteration of the product.
When product sourcing becomes competitive, though the middlemen always want to cut out and then make profits and all that. So before you know what's happening, they begin to adulterate and then stuff like that. So once adulteration begins to come in, there are times where you expect that a gas is supposed to be of, home standard. And then what you are getting is probably an industrial gas, highly flammable, and before you know what's happening is displaced. We've had issues like that with kerosene.
Experience anything like leakage, you make sure you take it out. Or maybe you stop using it or you change the cylinder. Some people, they think it's a normal thing. They use gas like stove, which is not supposed to be.
Filling the gas alone, going to fix cookers, how to connect your regulators hose not to leak, and at the same time, control your fire. It's very, very risky. It's just like I just signed my debt warrant in this business. Come to complain to me. I will take you to your house. I will show you that even if you have been there for long, there are things you don't know about it.
However, Chairman, Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, Lagos Zonal Council, Comrade Tayo Aboyeji, sheds more light.
So government should enforce the law that most of them don't even have license. For those who don't have license, they don't know how to operate gas. Make sure that those that want to operate gases are a member of our union who are well trained. But for those, if they cannot, they refuse to join the union, government can get it up and train them.
The reoccurrence of gas explosion is generating public concerns in a densely populated city like Lagos. Hence, stakeholders are advocating corporate measures to embrace robust safety precautions before the use of the product. In Lagos, Victoria Olabode for Dateline 360.
Now the use of gas is becoming increasingly popular for cooking among Nigerians. But how aware are citizens of the risks associated with improper handling? Hawa Gimba in this next piece examines standards as she hopes to extinguish the flames caused by gas explosions.
In recent years, fatal explosions have been reported, and to avert these tragedies, it is important to educate households on the need to gradually replace their metal gas cylinders with fiber cylinders, which are said to be highly fire resistant. Nigeria targets the deepening of liquefied petroleum gas usage in the country, eyeing as much as 5 million metric tons consumption per annum by 2023. In its bid to actualize the targets, the federal government has promised to continue to support the industry with fiscal policies and incentives. But the desire to deepen the usage in the country is another challenge that many say must be confronted with greater vigor. The spate of gas explosions across the country is a source of concern for many, which regulatory bodies are, however, not unmindful of. The Kubwa explosion is still fresh in the minds, rapidly followed by the Ladipo market experience and another tragedy reported recently, which have left in the wake deaths and destructions. These recurring incidences have caused enormous losses. Most consumers do not know that a gas cylinder has expiring date, and exposing it to water can lead to its corrosion, which endanger the life of the user, according to those who should know.
In the use of cylinders, consider the date
of manufacture on the cylinder that you are using. If it is above 15 years, it is dangerous for you. Get rid of that cylinder and buy another one. Your life worth a lot more than whatever the cost of that cylinder is. Be careful about the use of cylinders. It is advised that for liquefied petroleum gas cylinders, do not put them inside your kitchen, but outside your kitchen.
Investigations reveal that there are substandard cylinders in the market which cannot withstand the pressure from the gas. Although there are standard metals for the production of gas cylinder, oftentimes because of the low purchasing power, some people will go for cheaper cylinders. This is why the relevant agencies that are saddled with the responsibilities of ensuring standards should rise to the challenge.
The first thing that SON is responsible for is to provide a benchmark for judging cylinders, just like every other product that is locally manufactured or imported into Nigeria. And that benchmark can only come in form of a standard.
The number of fire outbreaks is not somehow high in FCT as a whole, between 450 to 470, because of the aggressive fire sensitization program that we embark upon. We have about 16 fire stations within FCT, and they are all functionable. All the area councils, they have fire stations. So at any time, please try and put call to us.
Safety experts also advocate regular check of the cylinder by leakage with soap-free water poured on edges, bottlenecks, and suspected areas to detect leakage, just as gas bottles should be capped when not in use and must be replaced vertically away from source of ignition. An area of concern also is the audit of gas dispensing facilities and roadside retail outlets, which some respondents call on NNPC to ensure that when major non-compliances are found, such stations should be shut until the required safety measures are upheld.
The circulation of cylinders in this town or in Nigeria has not been regulated. And most of these cylinders have expiry dates and nobody checks them.
Gas issue, that one is something that government can be controlled. Everybody that will be on that line of business, we have license. So the government will set an agency or task force who will be looking the people that is selling those gas.
Some households have been using the same gas cylinders for upward of 3 decades. That is a disaster waiting to happen. Besides, relevant authorities need to organize sensitization programs to all gas retail outlets on how to operate the business for minimal risk. In Abuja, Hawa Gimba for Deadline 360.
From Kaduna, Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikun reports that in addition to enforcement of regulations on illegal retail shops of cooking gas, agencies have stepped up campaign to sensitize people about safety measures.
Potentially dangerous is this 3.5 kg gas cylinder because of the direct link between the fire on top and the gas. Gas, a multi-billion naira industry, explored and processed for various economic advantages. Cooking gas is very popular and has taken over most Nigerian kitchens from the traditional way of burning firewood, charcoal, to kerosene-powered stoves. These gas cylinders are source of livelihood at the same time, source of concern because of the danger involved in using them.
Gas is safe. Gas is greener. It's a cleaner fuel. And we just need to adhere to everyday safety.
The bitter experience is the gas explosion of 4th January 2020 at Sabon Tasha, Kaduna, that killed prominent professor of chemical engineering
and Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Energy Commission.
In a residential area like this, it is not acceptable to have this kind of facilities. We've already given directives that all such outlets should be shut down. We will relocate them, we'll give them land in the industrial areas where adequate precautions to prevent things like this happening will be put in place.
Yes, we are considering the danger now because the government want people to do no buy at the neighbors. They say.
So what is the danger of selling cooking gas in neighborhoods? What is the danger?
In case of fire accidents or something like that, you understand.
Where you are supposed to sell gas are supposed to be an outskirts where people can go. Even though fire starts, it cannot affect people around. So I want government to implement policy to discard it. But you know, some people will say going far and the ones that are near, how much, the transport, they are not checking about the danger of life.
We can't just stop just like that. If the government and individuals that own money can make gas station in a very close by place, maybe in Jos Road here, can get like 3 or 4 cooking gas 247. So with that, they can actually stop those other people. Stopping them just like that is going to cause a lot of harm.
More than 600 illegal retail shops have been closed down.
Dealers and consumers must look out for the mandatory embossed markings on all imported LPG cylinders specified in the standard NIS 69/2013. And these include manufacturer's name, manufacturer's date, the date of manufacture of the cylinder, country of origin, the test pressure, the tire weight, and the product registration number with a prefix FA, or if they were manufactured locally, the MANCAP number. These are the marking information that has to be.
We always take good out of such incidences. It serves as a rider and a wake-up call for all the stakeholders.
As the use of cooking gas expands to rural areas, enlightenment of safety measures remains sacrosanct. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikun for Deadline 360.
And in Enugu, residents expressed their displeasure about indiscriminate.
That much has changed in the business after the gas explosion that killed many in Enugu.
Incessant gas explosion has affected gas usage across our environment. One, because there's this phobia. You know, traditionally, most people feel that gas, is not as safe because the fire, when it occurs, is always very intense, and it can affect a whole lot of places. But from studies, we discovered that gas usage is actually the safest. But unfortunately, in our society, we've had incidents of people importing, substandard cylinders and the gas accessories. But in my own opinion, if we observe all the safety precautions, I believe we will have less of these explosions.
Gas is good, it helps people, it helps homes, it helps industries.